Good day, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Fayette Focus. Harry Wright with you today, my guest from Veteran Services here in Fayette County. We've got Amy Jackson. Amy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Amy. Why don't you tell a little bit to everyone, what is Veteran Services all about?
We pretty much help veterans with service-connected and non-service-connected disabilities. We'll help their widows with different claims. We also offer temporary financial assistance in a time of need and transportation to and from the VA Medical Center.
I know that you have issues that go on all the time. What's some of the things you're dealing with right now?
In the office, mainly everything is pretty smooth. I've been going out to the nursing home and doing nursing home visits, and today I have a remote thing that will let me access files when I'm not at work, but I can still access those files to do claims. And at the nursing home visit today, it didn't work out the way I wanted to, so I had to take the laptop to get it fixed, but I think that's probably the biggest problem that I've had.
There you go. Now, any veteran of any war can get help from Veteran Services.
Yes, sir.
Now, I know right now there's a lot of talk about maybe some of the veterans not receiving the services that they deserve. And is that because maybe they don't know where to go and they're not applying for it, or what's going on with that issue?
I would say there's probably many different factors that fall into place. Some of them is veterans try to file their own claims. I never tell someone that they should file their own claims because a lot of the wording should be specific. There may be presumptive conditions, there may be secondary conditions, and we receive the training on how to respond to that. But I wouldn't say there's any one instance that would come into play there.
It's just a big ball of string right there with all of it lumped up. So today you wanted to tell the people, what do you got on your mind today to talk to the people about?
Well, we have Memorial Day coming up soon, and we have a lot of different things going on. On Friday, May 22nd at 3:30 p.m. at the Old Washington Cemetery, we have a service. We also have on Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th, 10 a.m. at the Washington Cemetery, 11 a.m. the Catholic Cemetery. Immediately following is the American Legion, because they will be providing lunch, and 1 p.m. Will be services at the Highland Cemetery.
Now, people out there that are listening that are not military savvy, if you will, they don't have anybody in their family in the military, they themselves never was in the military. Could you tell them how important it is for the community to come out and support these services?
Oh, it's very important and very educational. It marks a reflection and remembrance to veteran sacrifice. And I think even if you don't have someone directly in your family who's been in the service, most of us at least know someone that has been in the service.
It's hard for us to think here in Fayette County because we love and respect our veterans very much, but there's quite a growing, unfortunately, population in the American psyche, if you will, that are saying, well, the vets, they chose to do this, and they should have really gone to college or something else, but they don't understand how important it is for our country to be protected, and it doesn't get protected by itself. The veterans are the ones who protect our country.
Right.
And so these services, they might not think that they're important, but it really is important for you to show up and let the vets who are there see that the people are behind them. Because sometimes I guess in a vet's post-service time that they feel like they've been forgotten, that they feel like, I've got to go through all these roadblocks and jump through all these hoops to get medical care or whatever. No one really cares. But then when they come to a service like Memorial Day and they see the community show up, that kind of gives them a little bit of a lift, doesn't it?
It does.
I know, because you probably see that a lot in your office where the vets come in and say, well, there's nobody cares. What makes a difference? And you guys can turn them around and say, look, there is people that care. Here's a service here for you, and here's one. What's the number one service that you're providing for vets right now?
I would say it's probably a tie between service-connected disabilities and financial assistance.
It is a shame that when we spend $6 trillion fighting a war and we can't put aside a few $1 billion to take care of the people that fought the war for us, and that seems like that's a government thing, and what side of the fence you're on, it doesn't matter. But I've noticed in the years that our services that are offered to the veterans have subsided in a lot of ways. And, they talk about budget cuts. My philosophy is a veteran of our country should never pay taxes. A veteran of our country should be taken care of financially for the rest of their life. It's not just a sacrifice that they themselves have made, but their families have sacrificed. And when you add that all up, I think it's worth something.
I think some of the benefits do reflect your beliefs a little bit. If a veteran has a service-connected disability and they're receiving compensation that is tax exempt, and there are benefits out there. The service-connected disability is there for a veteran who has been injured in the line of duty, so that will pay them compensation for their disabilities. Once they reach a certain age or have a different disability that prevents them from being able to work, they can also apply for the non-service connected pension, and that is also tax exempt. So there are a lot of services out there. We just need to educate the public on what's there for them.
And that's what we hope to do with programs like this. And when you talk with the media, you get it out there very well. Now, for all those listening right now, give us the dates and times again for the Memorial Day services.
Okay, Friday, May 22nd, 3:30 p.m. at the Old Washington Cemetery. Monday, May 25th, we have 10 a.m. at the New Washington Cemetery. 11 a.m. Catholic Cemetery. The American Legion is going to provide lunch. And 1 p.m. Highland Cemetery.
All right, folks, see if you can't make it out. Bring the kids and see if you can't make it out to one of the Memorial Day services here in Fayette County. Anything else for our listeners today?
No, thank you.
All right, my guest today from Veteran Services here in Fayette County, we've got Amy Jackson. Amy, thank you so much for visiting with us.
Thanks for inviting me.
Good day, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Fayette Focus. Harry Wright with you today. My guest from, the Fayette County Chamber of Commerce and the Fayette County Travel and Tourism. We've got both ladies here that are running both things. Whitney, congratulations on being the new president of the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Harry. I look forward to it.
I think you're going to do a wonderful job. Now, Jolinda, you have taken over the Fayette Travel and Tourism duties.
I have, yes.
And that's a pretty big job all in itself.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited.
Very excited. Wonderful. Now, there is an event coming up that I can't wait for. June 27th.
It is 2 events in one day. We're going to start out on Saturday, June 27th. Both of the events take place at the Fayette County Airport out on 38, State Route 38. The first is the Wine Toast to Summer, Fayette County's Toast to Summer Wine and Art Fest. And that's going to be from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., again at the airport. We have 11 wineries that will be there and close to 40 craft vendors so far.
So that's going to be a good day to pick up crafty things. And the great thing is that for a fee, you can get a little glass and you can taste some of the wine.
For $20, you can get 8 tickets, and that will let you have 8 samples of wine. And you also get a wine glass that's going to be etched with Fayette County Toast to Summer on it. It'll be a great little keepsake.
How nice will that be?
I know, it's going to be great. And then the 8 drink tickets, the wineries will be selling whole bottles.
Right.
So if you sample something that you like, you can buy a bottle, take it home, and have some later.
And the great thing is it's going to have a lot of Ohio wineries.
They're all Ohio wineries. There's 11 of them.
And people don't usually think of, when you think of wine, you think of Napa Valley, California, you think of France, you think of Italy, but really up north in Ohio, we've got some really high quality wine.
There are several, and there's some from Southern Ohio coming as well. So I can run through a quick list of them. We have one from Central Ohio as well. We have Buckeye Winery, Wine Dot Winery, Rockside Vineyards, Hanover Winery, Deer's Leap, Plum Run, one called It's Your Winery, Signature Wines, Caesars Creek Vineyards, Soyne Vineyards, and Harpersfield Winery. So we look forward to having them. They're all going to have probably a couple samples of different types of wine. We hope to have some little kind of score sheets, if you will, where you can make notes on what you like. And so when you go back, if you after sampling 8 kinds, now which one did I really like, you can be sure to go back and purchase that one. And Harry, we do need to thank some sponsors. As you know, our routine.
There you go.
This would not be possible without our sponsors. So we want to give a big thank you to Vermeer Heartland, Gus Weiler's, the Rusty Keg, LC&B Bank, and Valero are the main sponsors, as well as Lucky You. They're going to be sponsoring the music stage. So we're going to have wine, crafts, and music, food,
Food. I was getting ready to
I
ask.
know.
There's got to be food.
Yes. And the other sponsors for the day also that would not be possible without them: Kirkpatrick Funeral Home, Signature Healthcare, Mid-Atlantic Storage, Fayette County Memorial Hospital, Prudential Financial, and State Farm Insurance. We want to thank them for helping us put this together. And the Chamber of Commerce board members have worked very hard so far to make this happen. You don't get 11 wineries, 40 craft vendors, and 4 local food vendors by not working really hard. So they've done a great job.
And it's a great place to have it out at the airport. There's plenty of room, and it's great because what's happening afterwards is airport related.
Yes.
But you've got now the music wise. Are you going to have some special kind of music?
We have in the afternoon, later in the day, we have, and I'm drawing a blank, fill me in,
Rockin'.
Rockin' Country.
Rocking
Local
country.
popular band,
Yes.
Rockin' Country.
Yeah, they're really good. And then,
Yes.
and then now that's 11 to 7 on the 27th.
11 to 7, that's the chamber event. And then we'll segue into Jolinda and Travel and Tourism. We have 2 great events on one great day.
And one ends when the other starts.
That's right, one
Yes.
right after the other.
So tell us about the 7 p.m. event.
7 p.m. to 11 p.m. we have a hot air balloon glow, but most of all, we're going to offer pre-sale rides, and the rides are pre-sale only. So if you can, Harry, if you know anybody that wants a ride, all they can do is get on General Breeze Hot Air Balloons.com, or they can give me a call 740-335-8008, and we can schedule their ride. Rides will be sunset on Friday evening on the 26th, and then the 27th Saturday morning we'll have sunset rides. Everybody, we've got a lot booked so far. Everybody's really looking forward to it, but that event will be, we will have a beer garden, we will have food, a local restaurant here in town is going to be having food. Some of the artisans will be staying that evening for the event, so we're hoping to have a great turnout. We've got parking is $5 for the event. It's going to be a great event all day long, and I think we'll have a great I'm hoping to have great community support, and I think it'll be.
And Jolinda's doing a lot of advertising too outside of the county too, because that's one of the things that Travel and Tourism does, is try to entice people to Fayette County,
Right.
Sure.
to see the things that we do. So we're excited. Both of us are excited about doing these events. It is $5 parking per car for the entire day.
So the whole car gets in for $5
Yes.
because there's no
Yes.
admission fee.
Right. So
Yeah.
if you're not a wine drinker, you can bring a carload of friends for $5 and come out and eat lunch and browse the craft vendors, listen to the music, and have a great day.
Now you need to bring the kids out there, the family, in the evening, because
Sure.
how cool is it going to be when darkness hits and they start putting the fire inside the balloons
Yeah.
to heat the air up, and that thing's going to look like a beautiful kind of. I can't wait. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be so beautiful.
You can actually walk right up to the balloons. You can walk right up, look in the baskets. They really are looking forward to that. But for kids that evening, we're going to have free face painting. So when the kids are out there, we're also going to offer snow cones. So, yeah, bring the kids and come on out. It's going to be a great evening.
Bring your video cameras too, because you're
Sure.
going to get to, and your other cameras, because you're just going to get to see. I mean, with all these things lit up in the night sky, it's just going to be a beautiful sight right here in Fayette County. And I know there's some people out there going, "We have an airport in Fayette County." Yes, we do.
We do.
Very busy one, as a matter of fact. I talked with Jerry Van Dyke not too long ago, someone that you're familiar with.
Sure.
I talked with him not too long ago, and the airport is a very busy place. Lots of jets coming in and things going on. It's kind of really cool that we're all going to get to go out and hang out and have a wonderful time. The taste of summer in the afternoon with the wine and the food and the music and the arts and crafts, and then the balloon glow at night. It sounds like a real fun day.
It does. This is one of the many events that Fayette County Travel and Tourism is working with, and we're hoping to have many more.
All right, my guest today from the Fayette County Chamber of Commerce, our new president. Congratulations once again to Whitney Gentry.
Thank you.
And from the Fayette Travel and Tourism, Jolinda Van Dyke. Thank you, girls, for coming in, and I look forward to seeing you on the 27th.
Great. Thanks, Harry.
Good day, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Fayette Focus. Harry Wright with you today. My guests from the American Red Cross. We've got Mary McCord. How are you today, Mary?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Harry?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And we got Pricilla Smith. Pricilla, how are you?
Great, doing great.
Wonderful. Girls, what we got going on with the Red Cross?
Well, we always have preparedness going on, which is, I think, one of the things a lot of people don't know about the Red Cross. They know about blood drives. They know we respond to large disasters. But what we also do is try to prepare you before that disaster happens. And so if we think about Ohio, we think, well, we don't have hurricanes here. But it is the month of May. And what
Tornadoes.
Exactly. So we have thunderstorms and tornadoes. So we wanted to talk a little bit about tornado safety and preparedness that you can do before, and how to be alert to when a tornado's coming. So
And please, folks, I mean, I know we're in Fayette County, and I know we're a different breed, but when the tornado sirens go off, don't walk outside to see what's going on.
Oh no! Everybody pulls out their camera and
Yeah, they do. You see them on
Video
their
it.
front porch. The sirens are going off. You're getting everybody together into the safe room, and you look out the window, and your neighbor's standing out on the front porch with cell phone up to their ear, looking up at the sky, going,
saying, I don't see anything.
I don't see anything. I don't know what they're talking about. But the reason the sirens are going off is because someone in position has said there is severe weather coming.
Yeah, the National Weather Service is watching out for us, and they're doing it. And that's the difference between a watch and a warning. That I know they both start with W, so they get a little confusing. But a watch is just conditions are favorable, and you're watching, and you want to be able to like watch your radio or listen to your radio for alerts, or watch your TV, or listen for that siren if you're close enough to be able to hear the siren. And then a warning, I tell everybody it's an ING. It means we take action. I think warning, running. So you should be moving to a safe place in your home.
And people will say, well, I didn't hear the siren inside my house. You're not supposed to be able to hear the siren inside your house. The siren is for people who are outside to tell you to get in. What you do if you're inside the house, you know ahead of time whether weather's going to be bad or not. Get your radio, tune it in so that the National Weather Service can come on and say it's a severe thunderstorm warning or a severe thunderstorm watch. Or if the siren's going off, that's a warning. That means that something is on the way, either a thunderstorm or a tornado or something, and you should head to what you would call the safe area in your house.
Right, and that's the lowest level of your home. So if you have a basement, go down to your basement. If you don't have a basement, you go to the most interior part of your house, like a room. That could be a closet. It could be a bathroom, going into the interior. Now, if you're in a car, the actual most recent recommendations is actually to stay in your car and to drive at right angles. I know we're out with a lot of cornfields, but to drive away. It didn't used to be that.
Now, you cannot drive straight away from it because the tornado is moving at about 70, 80, 90 mile an hour,
Right.
and it doesn't have to obey the curves in the road.
Right.
So the best thing is to have the tornado either out your passenger window as you're driving or have the tornado out your driver's side window as you're driving so that you're actually going away and getting out of its
Right.
path.
And that's probably a better way to describe it than right angles, because if we
you
weren't
won't
good at
outrun it.
geometry, then.
You won't outrun a tornado. There's no way.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, I can always remember in the past, they always say, get out of your car, get in a ditch. And then I'm thinking, cement blocks are going to come flying at me, and I'm in a ditch. And if cement block comes at me and I'm in a car,
You're more protected.
I got at least a roof over my head. Unless you're driving a convertible, then, you're probably still going to get messed up.
Yeah.
and ditches are ditches for water's sake.
Yeah.
So you could drown.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, or a tree could fall on you and trap you and whatnot. I mean, we're getting into the thing where, tornadoes are pretty serious things. We see what's going on right now out in Oklahoma, and they're pretty serious things. So you talk about preparedness. Now, some people are saying, well, I got a closet that I go to, and so I'm prepared. But, are you really?
Yeah, and if something does happen, another good thing is to have a whistle. We've talked a lot about sometimes about having a disaster kit with water enough for everybody. So that's a gallon of water per person per day. But put a whistle in there. So if you were in Oklahoma, or if that happened here, and your house is all fallen down and you're in it, you want to be able to alert your first responders that are coming to rescue you to where you are in that house, in that rubble. So if you
a whistle makes a distinct sound that you probably, not like a siren or something else that you might hear in the background, but a whistle will make a distinct sound that will say, I'm here, I need help.
Yes. Even my daughter called when those severe storms have been coming through this time of year, and they had a tornado warning. She was like, okay, Mom, you told me, warning, I'm supposed to be running. Where should I run to? So we talked about where she should run to, and I said, well, do you have a whistle? And she's like, no, but she has a daughter. She goes, I have a squeaky toy. I'm like, okay, take your squeaky toy. So I was like, take the baby squeaky toy with you and do that. But yeah, you need to be able to alert them. And another good alert system is the Red Cross app. We actually have a tornado app. And you can download it. It's tied to the National Weather Service. In fact, I know it absolutely works. I have personal firsthand experience with this. Last year, it was May of last year, their tornado hit. It was an EF3 in Cedarville, Ohio, which is not far from here. And I was driving through that area at that time. I'm not kidding. I'm absolutely serious. My phone was blowing up. And the Red Cross app, and it sounds like a tornado siren, like, roo, roo, roo. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm looking around. I'm looking in the sky. I don't see anything. I'm like the people standing on the front porch, but we were driving because I didn't try to figure out which way to drive. And it looks like a regular overcast Ohio day. It didn't look like it was going to be a tornado, but it was going off. And we didn't see anything, so we kept driving up. And by the time we got to 70, there were state highway patrolmen blocking everybody. Nobody could move on 70. They didn't want any traffic going anywhere. It was like, it really works. I'm saying that I didn't get to see the tornado, but I got to see the damage afterward and the photographs of it. So, and they actually said, I pulled up the information about it, that the speed, it happened between 5:45 and 6:03 that evening, and the maximum estimated winds were 145 miles per hour. I mean, that's a lot. And the tornado's traveling, like you said, like 70 miles an hour. Well, we drive 70 miles an hour on our highways. So that thing that's going 145 miles an hour around in a circle is traveling as fast as a car on a highway coming right towards you. So it can happen here, and we want you to be prepared for it.
And the preparedness kit is so that, I mean, if it is a tornado and there's widespread damage, you might not be the first person on the list to get saved.
Right.
So therefore, if you have water and food, and folks, please take your pets in with you too.
Yes.
And make sure that they have water and food as well. But, you know, I mean, I'm not telling you to take a 7-course meal and pack it away in a picnic basket and leave it in there. But, you know, granola bars.
Right.
And trail mix and stuff like that can keep you alive until help does reach. Because if your house is blown down and it's on top of you, but you're okay because you're in your safe room, well, there's probably other people that are in need of help too, and the rescue crews might get to you right away, or they might get to you in 3 or 4 or 5 hours or the next day. So make sure that you're prepared. A couple of gallons of water per person doesn't hurt. Put it in the closet or the safe room or down in the basement. Make sure you have some food, bandages. Make sure you have some bandages with you, and it wouldn't hurt to maybe have some antiseptic or some rubbing alcohol, stuff like that. If you have medication that you take, make sure that you have that medication in your safe room.
Yes.
Some people take daily medicine, and without it, bad things would happen. And you don't know. I mean, you don't know if you're going to be rescued within the hour or you're going to be rescued within a week.
Right.
So make sure that you have enough stuff. And it's kind of cool that the Red Cross is thinking about preparing for disaster, because when everybody thinks of the Red Cross, you're the people that show up after the disasters happen. So
Yes.
it is kind of nice, and I bet you're awful busy out in Oklahoma, aren't you?
Yeah, I just an exec from our area who does public affairs said that he was deploying. So, yeah, but the Red Cross at this point, they have enough volunteers that we don't have to travel too far to get it. So within a 500-mile radius is what they were asking for. So we were ready to deploy people, but no one was called for. So.
And I don't think a lot of people understand that either. Just because there's a disaster in Oklahoma, that doesn't mean the people in Ohio don't get involved.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think about Hurricane Katrina when that went through. We even have families that came here. In Ross County, we served 8 families who had been affected by that storm.
They had no place to go.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, the storms, depending on the severity of it, you know, they need us or they don't need us, or the families could come here.
That are evacuating. Yeah.
Right. So not just blood drives.
Right. We do
But-
preparedness and then disaster recovery. And that's one of the neat things about the Red Cross is kind of making this, they call it the disaster cycle. So it's a complete preparation. We're there before, we're there right after the disaster happens to help you out and then help you get back up on your feet. So help you with that first step to get back to recovery. So.
All right, girls, anything else you'd like to tell our listeners today?
Just be prepared.
Be prepared to have some food, have some bandages, make sure your pets are taken care of as well. Make sure you have food and water for them, and have it in your safe room or your basement, wherever you're going to go. Stay away from windows, folks, and do not, when you hear the sirens go off, do not stay outside to see what's going on. You know.
And if you want to learn more, you can go to our website, is www.redcross.org, or call our office, and we'll help you.
And the office
ready.
number is?
740, actually I'm just going to tell you 772-2014.
There you go, 772-2014. My guest today on Faya Focus, the ladies from the American Red Cross. We've had Mary McCord, Pricilla Smith. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank
Great,
you.
thanks.